My friends, let's give a warm Fan Expo Canada welcome to Lindsay Jones, Tara Eberle, and Barbara Dunkelman.
Hello.
Welcome back to Toronto.
Bienvenue. Bonjour.
We're missing Erin Zek. She's feeling a little under the weather. She sends her kind regards and she loves you and she wants to hug all of you. And you are all her favorite, I think I was told to say. To kick things off, you're playing some heroic characters. We all have characters that we loved when we were kids, whether they were in cartoons or movies, that sort of thing. I love talking to people about the fandoms that they are a part of when they're on your side of the production world. What did you run home after school to make sure that you didn't miss? Or what was the movie that you were waiting to come out? Whoever wants to jump in first.
Actually, I remember watching the live-action Superman, like with my parents, like Lois and Clark, the old one. Y'all probably don't remember it, but it was always so fun for me to just see someone being normal, and then all of a sudden they go into like their little oopsies. Oh well. They go into like their closet and come out, and it's like Superman. They can fly. I thought it'd be cool. I ran around like with a cape on the back of tied around my neck, with a little towel. It's a cape. It was cute.
I didn't watch a lot of like heroic and superhero content growing up. I ran home to watch The Simpsons. Because
you got Bartman. You got Bartman in there. That's pretty heroic.
Yeah. Lisa Simpson is my hero. Thank you.
That's true.
Ralph Wiggum is mine.
I like Bart.
But yeah, I think we all enjoyed cartoons and animation growing up. I think that's why we are so excited to be part of an animated show like RWBY and to essentially get to play cartoon characters, which I think is all of our dream.
So cool still.
Yeah. Shoot. I feel like I watched too much TV growing up, so here I am. That's the result of that. But yeah, in a similar way, I watched like the 90s Justice League show. I was big into Wonder Woman. I still love the hell out of her. She's fantastic. But also anime. I was a huge anime fan. I used to go to conventions all the time and meet several of the people who are down the way too, next to us. So it's very surreal to be, literally on the opposite end of the table now and being a part of this universe that I love so much. So thanks. Appreciate it, y'all.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, on that note, some of our beloved voice actors here. I mean, Janet Varney just got finished voicing Wonder Woman for the first time. You have these franchise IP characters that they are constantly looking for new iterations, different versions, different people to voice them. Are there any of those kinds of franchise characters from your childhood that, hey, if the opportunity came up and they called up Lindsay Jones and they're like, hey, Lindsay Jones, you want to put on the golden lasso?
You mentioned She-Ra backstage, and I was like, hold on now. Like, hang on, don't get me too excited. I know I'm late to the fandom, and I'm so sorry, but I just finished Steven Universe for the first time. Oh my gosh, it's so good. Not that I need to tell you that. Everybody knows. I'm just waking up to it. But if they ever want to continue that show, I'm all about it. I'd love to be a gem, a fusion, a human, I don't care. Person in the background, that's fine by me.
Shadow character?
Yeah, right. Do they have shadow characters in the show?
I would love to voice Harley Quinn at some point in my life.
Oh, yeah.
That's such a fun character. And also, any Disney princess.
Oh, that's what I was going to
If
say.
anyone out here is casting a Disney movie, please call me. I'd love to be part of it, even if I got to play a little gremlin.
There you go.
I would do it.
The first gremlin princess. We need that. Yeah, I think society
Underground.
needs that.
That's the name of the movie, The First Gremlin Princess.
That would
Disney, call me.
We just have to slowly wait for the Disney acquisition, and then the time will come. Sorry, I jest, please.
Right. I'm not sure. What would you?
Kara, I know, sorry, we've discussed before, I know Kara likes Disney princesses quite a bit. You talk about Cinderella,
say that.
things like that.
Right.
I feel a Snow Whitey vibe, but also that's very because you're Weiss. I'm biased, so,
Well, that's kind of, obvious answer. I don't know. I think it would be really fun to play some sort of sorry. Hi.
No one saw that.
I promise I'm a voice actor and know how to use a microphone. I think it'd be fun to play any sort of a villain, really, in any show. I think that would be really fun just because Weiss is, she's a little sassy and whatnot, but, I'd really love to be a bad guy.
You also said you like Trailer Park Boys because they're here. I want an animated version of that where you're Bubbles.
Yes! Can we please do that? Yes.
Done. It's written.
Or all three of us just voice new Powerpuff Girls. So she could do
Ooh.
Bubbles.
Cool with that. Wait, who
There
am
we
I?
go. Yes, that's my answer.
I mean,
Powerpuff Girls.
Yeah, what would be the three of your take on Powerpuff Girls?
I would be Bubbles.
obviously.
course.
I'd probably be Blossom. I
You
would
are
Yeah.
the team
Yeah, that
leader,
makes
and I
sense.
want to be Buttercup. Okay,
Yes.
we're done. Thank you.
There we go. Hey.
So how would these characters change in your hands? I mean, how would your take on Buttercup
Oh,
revolutionize the character?
She's a mother of two, bakes a lot, drives around in the minivan, but it's still pretty hard, has a tough edge. It's very much inspired by my personal life. Yeah.
I think Weiss would give Bubbles an edge.
Yeah,
you know what I
dude, that'd be
mean?
crazy. Bubble goes hardcore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would make Blossom sound like Yoshi from Mario.
I just sound like this all the time.
Beautiful. Buttercup can just be Yoshi, too. It's
Yeah,
fine.
exactly.
Toad Yoshi, yeah.
Yoshi with
Princess
like
Peach,
a
you're
red
fine.
wig.
Yeah, or we could just do Mario Bros.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Princess Peach, there you go.
New Mario Bros. Yeah.
I've got
team.
one more for you, and then I'm going to turn it over to the audience. My friend here in the yellow shirt. What's your name? On the mic. I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
I think I heard Sarah.
Yes, Sarah.
Sarah.
Hi,
this
Sarah.
is also how we check the mic and make sure that the mic is on and working beforehand. Let's hear it for Sarah, everybody. Sarah is the individual who you will be offering bribes to get to ask the next question. If you got questions, go ahead and raise your hands, and she can start deciding who she likes the most out there in the audience. We're just on the other side of not doing these conventions for a while, going out and doing a lot of things. To stay on the positive side of things, because I know that we have all dealt with a lot and confronted a lot. What are some of the things that maybe you have caught up on over the course of the pandemic, or gotten to invest your time in, whether it's a show that you had always meant to start that was 7 years long, or a game that you went, oh, I don't know if I've got time for a 60-hour RPG.
Well, I actually decided to use the online class only to my advantage, and I went back to school, and I'm graduating next month from college.
Hey, rock on.
In a similar chase for my academic superiority and improving myself, I spent upward of probably close to maybe 80-ish hours in Animal Crossing. Anyways.
That's it?
So yeah, maybe
That's
a
it?
week.
I think I'm at like
Yeah.
600.
Yeah.
Wait,
I was
is
like,
it
just like,
a
okay,
week?
a lot of those wasn't sleep. I was going to say, I'm like, the first of
I-
launch, I was just like, I'm not sleeping, that's fine. A lot of Animal Crossing, which also Barbara did, so we both are, in that universe together. Shout out.
I'll get there.
I watched BoJack Horseman a lot, actually, and it is rated, probably more mature than the people in this panel are expecting. But it's very meaningful, and it just kind of was a really good self-reflection during quarantine, and kind of like reevaluating what we enjoy in life. So definitely check that out. Yeah.
I picked up a new habit or a new trait, I guess, in quarantine. It's called depression. Too real. But it was honestly like really tough for me, and I'm sure it was for a lot of you guys too. It was very isolating and very scary, and we didn't really know how long we were going to be unable to go anywhere or do these types of things again. And so, yeah, I mean, not to get too dark with it, but it was a difficult time. So things like Animal Crossing or picking up a new show are these little things we could look towards of like, okay, here's a silver lining of something I got to have
Exactly.
time for that I didn't before. But we're really grateful to be back
It's
with
actually
you
our
guys
first,
and
it's
seeing
our
you in
first
person.
convention, for post-pandemic with all four of us together. So yay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, I've got a lot of hybrid flowers. If that would help, Barbara. Like, you need some blue roses.
I got all
you
the
got 'em all. Yeah.
flowers.
Well,
Hold on.
Lindsay,
Sidebar, real quick. Are you on Nookazon? Are you on Nookazon?
I'm not on Nookazon, but look, I trade commodities on the black market.
okay.
Yeah,
We'll talk after the show.
Lindsay was like 80 hours. I was like, 400 hours, and then Barbara's like 600, and I'm like, I'm
Beef PC.
I'm sorry.
It's a lot.
I'm sorry.
I made the mistake of redoing my entire island.
I haven't done that yet. I haven't
Well,
Took me a few weeks.
You bring up Animal Crossing, I have to ask, how do you feel about all the DLC that is dropping in like a week?
that November update is fat and juicy. and I'm
November
very
5th?
excited for it. Yes.
I'm really excited for the paid DLC because I like doing like home design and stuff like that. Like I played The Sims growing up like religiously.
Yeah.
And so like
Did you play The Sims, or did The Sims play you?
a little bit of column
touche.
A, a little bit of column B.
Touche. When you own every expansion pack, we know the answer. Sims
Yep.
played me. That being said, taking it back to a really more sentimental place, since Barbara took us there, and we'll go back. It's actually been very humbling and heartwarming, very wistful, hearing people say exactly the same thing about RWBY. They say during quarantine, I either returned to the series or I've loved it so much that I kind of use that as a source of comfort for me. And that's incredibly relatable from our standpoint.
Is there anyone here who picked up RWBY during quarantine? What?
Yeah.
Hey, Weiss.
Welcome to the fan base.
Yes.
Hey.
Yeah.
It looks like you're going to fit in just fine.
Yeah,
That's
I
awesome.
think maybe they liked it,
Just a bit. Thank you.
based on the way they're dressed. So let's turn it over to you, the audience. Who's got a question? Who's got a question? Who's got a question? Oh, we've already got one right there.
Hi, my name's Travis. And so one of my personal favorite parts of RWBY is the soundtrack. And I was curious, do you guys have a favorite song throughout all 8 seasons?
It's like asking to pick a favorite child. My
My favorite
gosh.
song from all the seasons? Red Like Roses Part 2. It makes me sad, but it's so real. We love it. We all love that one.
I listened to that one before recording for RWBY
Me
because
too.
it usually makes me cry, and then I just compose myself and go into the booth and do what I do.
I listen to that and then Caffeine. That way I'm
Dude,
like, all right.
caffeine's great for the gym. That's a good treadmill song. Absolutely.
I do it when I'm driving and I'm like,
I know, Barbara, you mentioned cold is quite important to us too, so we like that quite a bit.
Yeah, I mean, there's a ton of songs on the soundtrack that hold really sentimental value, of course. I like I Burn, personally, and Gold, and some other Yang songs, Armed and Ready. But yeah, Cold, I think especially is extremely meaningful to us, and
I will also tell you, Barbara, I've never told her this before too. There have been a number of times when I've been getting ready in the morning and I put on the I Burn remix and it's just me with my hairbrush like this. I'm like, I burn! God,
yeah.
that's so hard.
I love that visual. Just imagining Lindsay and
Oh yeah. Shout out to Casey, those vocals.
yeah, definitely. But thank you.
Next up right here.
What is everyone's favorite ships?
White Knight. It's gonna happen. I have faith. But John and Weiss.
Mayflower, Titanic. What else can I say?
Yeah,
What other dumb jokes can I
Wait,
throw
there's
in
one
there?
called
Yeah.
Mayflower?
No, we're talking real shit.
Now there should be.
Oh, wow.
I mean, I'm more
It's
partial to
Sunday,
Santa
all right.
Maria than the Pinta.
Yeah.
Enterprise, that counts.
Prize, yeah.
Thank you.
I mean, I'm more of an Excelsior man, Captain Sulu all the way.
There
but,
you go. Okay, God, we can't get too nerdy on this panel. We gotta chill.
Not possible.
I'm not aware of any RWBY ships.
Our fan base doesn't ship anybody.
I mean,
Especially
yeah,
for Yang.
Bumblebee, it's no question. It's the best ship, hands down.
I've been on the Tumblrs. I've seen things.
I might
read the
post my own
AO3s.
Bumblebee fan art secretly. They're just stick figures.
Awesome. Who made this claymation video? It's from Barbara Dunkelman.
Darbra Bunkelman? That's weird. Who's this?
That's awesome. I will subscribe though. Don't worry.
Me too.
Obviously, yeah, Bumblebee is the big ship, and we, as not only people in the show, but as fans of the show, we're like, that makes sense to us. We like it. We think we support it. I am a fan of Nuts and Dolts, which is Penny and RWBY, because they are too cute to scoot. They're adorable. But other than that, some people have also proposed the idea in the fan base of RWBY being asexual, and I can also totally find that believable to her character, true, and very
Yeah.
true to her traits. So, yeah. That's that on that.
Thank you.
Next up over here.
Do you think your characters would say poggers? And follow-up, do you think they would also dab?
Bold of you to assume that I haven't already said poggers as RWBY and that it's been recorded, because it has.
That is
Kara just whispered to me, what does that mean?
that was the most polite academic. Would they say these
Would they say
terms?
poggers?
Can you use it in a sentence,
For
please?
example, would they dab?
I don't
We
think.
do.
Do you
We
need me
dab.
to tell you that Yang would be dabbing at every given moment possible? Yes, of course, absolutely.
Yang and RWBY play video games. I feel like we would be saying poggers. We'd be up to date with the lingo,
Yeah.
which is such an old person thing to
I
say.
feel like RWBY would say poggers a lot, and Yang would get annoyed.
Yeah.
After a while.
way too much. I'd be
Yeah.
popping out of the woodwork
Yeah.
poggers.
You're
And Weiss would be
overusing
like,
it.
"Shut
You're trying too hard.
Well, you were saying, and I agree. It's we were like, does Weiss play video games? I'm like, no. I feel like she'd think that's childish. It's a waste of time. Yeah.
And then secretly in her closet, she just has one set up.
She's got a Game Boy or something. I knew it.
Old school Game Boy, Nintendo, and thinks that she's really cool.
She had it when she was super little, and then she rediscovered it.
Yeah.
It's is this
She's
Pokemon
just
Yellow?
embarrassed
Oh,
to
snap.
say that she likes video games. That's all she has.
Right over here.
Hi. How does it feel, or how has it impacted you to know you've had an impact on other people's lives, whether that's bringing them into anime or just getting them through a tough time?
It is scary to have any like impact on anyone, and like their life path is very daunting, and a sense of pressure that some people don't deal with well. Which I'm not saying that that's our case. Like, I think for us, we're really humbled by it and really grateful that we could help people find a genre of show that they like, or even if they found some comfort in RWBY through one of the characters or the storyline or anything like that. And the fact that we have involvement in that process we're very blessed, and we feel very humbled by it. And, you know, even if we could affect one person positively, that would be enough for me. So the fact that we could reach so many people on such a great scale is like...
It's definitely a big responsibility, but, you know, it's something that we cherish and we appreciate very, very much. And we, you know, we love the fact that you guys watch the show. That's why we get to keep making it. And the fact that, you know, we can, you know, have even a little impact, like Barbara's saying, on, you know, everybody makes us so grateful. So thank you all. We love you guys so much. You're clapping for yourselves. Yes, thank you.
Good job.
That's very true. I mean, we were talking about shows that we watched in quarantine, but like, you know, people have said, I seek out content that you're in because it gives me comfort. And I'm like, I get that. I resonate with that. I've been in that position. I still am in that position. I seek out many forms of media like that. And like y'all said, it's a responsibility. It definitely seems like a call for self-improvement, a constant strive to be a better person than I was before, because now we have people who not only watch your content, but, you know, take inspiration from you as a person. I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to try and be the best person I can, I guess. You know, I feel like I should. It's an obligation. But I feel like y'all, you know, you motivate us. It's like, you know, you say, people will come to the booth and say, like, you know, you inspired us, you changed my life. Like, I am a new person because of RWBY, and I'm like, literally the same from us. I'm like, we would not be here if it weren't for you all watching. We never thought the show would be as big as it was. We never thought we would be going to conventions and sitting here at panels talking about our experience. So, like, we owe y'all our career. Thank you.
So we will be divvying up our paychecks to everyone in the audience.
Yep. Everybody gets 35 cents. You are welcome.
You'll receive a check quarterly. It'll be share-based, you know, depending on how much you bought in to their careers early on. So some of you did better than others. Sorry to tell you. Right over here.
Hello. I think this question might be directed more at Kara, but anybody can answer it. So, like, we know at the end of Volume 6, remember, like, Adam had the SEC brand on his face? So I was wondering, how do you think Weiss would react if she saw that?
Bam. Answer the question.
She would not be very happy.
I don't think so.
I think she'd walk away. She'd walk away and come back with a plan and deal with it later, and like sneak attack some way.
Definitely did. Yeah, it seems like she'd be the kind of person to walk away and process.
Exactly.
Like, hang on a second. Yeah, like, she knows her family's messed up, but also I don't know how much she knows about just how messed up they are.
Right.
I feel like she would also feel a lot of remorse in a way, because, you know, she has involvement in that, and like it's her family name and everything like that, and she clearly doesn't want people being treated that way, and so I think that she would just feel like a sense of guilt, but
also, you know, probably along with guilt, a little bit of responsibility, but a lot of, you know, one of the things I love about Weiss is, you know, that line, you know, the Schnee family name is not legacy, it's mine to have, and I'm going to do it as a huntress. You know, she wants to get away from her family and not to be associated with anything like that. So I think that, like I said, you know, she would feel definitely, obviously, guilty and remorse, but it would take her some time to kind of process and, you know, figure out what to do, because she is independent and away from her family, and she's not that person.
Actually make, like, you know, take action toward correcting.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
For sure.
Where are we at? Right over here.
I'm just wondering, is there anything you guys can share about season 9? And do you think there's a chance we'll get to see Pyrrha again?
Season 9 has been announced.
Season 9 has been announced, and RWBY continues to be an incredible show.
Yeah,
it's great. Yes.
really hard to give any detail away about season 9 without giving away too many details about season 9.
Right.
It's a very different but very fun season. That if we even gave a hint to one thing that was happening, or
so what you're saying is it's going to be RWBY's version of Teen Titans Go. Completely different art style.
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I'll tell you one thing. RWBY is in it.
Yeah. What? Yes.
What?
Thank goodness.
You heard it here first. What was it? Second question was?
Just like questions for, or will we see Pyrrha 1? Okay. I hope so. That'd be cool.
Maybe in a dream, or I don't know. Like there's ways to, I guess,
I'm gonna
revisit her.
I'm gonna make a spin-off show called I Dream of Pyrrha, and it's just Ruby's visiting her like, I miss you. What's up? Hey.
What would Pyrrha's little
Yes.
be?
Bing. Yeah. Beautiful.
We all said it was our favorite season to record.
Yeah. I was
We know
just gonna
that,
say.
so that's kind of saying a lot.
I don't
there.
think it's spoilery to say like this is the first time that I've ever like fully like cried in a session. I was like, what is wrong with me? I'm leaking. Oh, but I think that speaks volumes. Pun. But it speaks volumes about the writing and the dedication to the show and just how much exploration I felt I got to do with the character. And it feels like y'all had the same thing. Like you get to learn more about yourselves as we're recording these characters, and that's to be 9 volumes in and still be able to give you more of the characters that you know and love is pretty awesome.
Yeah, and this season is going to be well worth the wait. And we appreciate you guys being patient with us, obviously having to convert all of our production to quarantine and everyone working from home. It took a hit on our production timeline. So we really appreciate you guys understanding that and being patient. It will be 100% worth the wait.
Yeah, the animators are kicking ass too. Like,
Yeah.
please, if you're on social media, send them a little bit of love because they would love to hear it. They've been doing so much hard work during
Very, very
difficult
hard.
times.
Next up, right over here.
Hi guys, I was just wondering who currently are your favorite side characters and why?
Ooh. I really like Shopkeep, but I like Last Airbender, and I like that that's kind of a little nod to the series. Like, Cabbage Cart guy, shout out.
I love Klein because I love that he's like all of the 7 dwarves, and it's always fun to see who he is. It's gonna be, it's fun.
Oh my God, there are so many to choose from. She's not a side character, but I love Nora. I guess she's not like a main character. Nora's always been one of my favorites. I've always loved Uncle Crow. It's always been like a really fun character. I like Raven as well. I think Raven's like really cool, and I want to know more about her and more about her experiences and her backstory. So hopefully someday.
I also like, I know I said earlier, jokingly, Shopkeep, but serious answer, Ciel Soleil, who's voiced by Issa, who works on RWBY and has done a lot of work with 2D animation at Rooster Teeth, but it's a cool character, and we had the joy of Penny returning. That's all I'll say about that.
That was a long. I'm glad.
Ciel didn't come with her, and I was kind of like, oh man, I kind of hope that'd be really cool to see that reunion and flesh out more of like how they met, how she was assigned to like watch over Penny, or like what their relationship is like.
Right.
Yeah, maybe in the future.
Next up, right here.
Would you ever be willing to cosplay as your characters or as different characters from RWBY?
Yeah, we actually got to cosplay as our characters, which was awesome.
once.
Anna Hullum, who voices Raven in the show, is an amazing seamstress too. She's so talented. And she just made all of our cosplays and was like, would you like to wear them for RTX? I'm like,
It was
Anna.
like, what, RTX
Sure.
2012?
I think it was 2014, 14 or 15.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they were like perfectly like fitted
Tailored
to
to
us,
us.
tailored to us. Like she used high quality fabrics and stuff like that because she's an actual like seamstress and whatnot. And it was like,
We felt like actually the characters
I
like in real
cannot-
life. It was so fun.
I can never change my body size because I want to wear this forever.
Stay. I like, because of that too, we filmed 10 Little Roosters after that, and Miles had one scene where he was wearing my cosplay as RWBY, and like we're shaped a little differently. So he like came up to me afterwards. He's like, "I'm sorry, I ripped your cosplay." I was like, "Miles, how dare you, Sean?"
Now I want to
Sean.
see him in that RWBY cosplay, or sorry, the Yang cosplay.
Oh yeah, dude, I'd love that. Are you kidding me?
With like the little crop jacket and like, skirt.
Ooh.
Miles has very hairy legs.
That
We
be
would
the
see a lot of
best.
them.
That would be the best.
Right over here.
So speaking of Klein a little bit, so I relate to the character very much because of or how his semblance is, and I wanted to I just kind of wondered if you guys know, was it intended for Klein to seem like he has dissociative identity disorder?
Sorry, what was the question?
Was it intended for Klein to resemble having dissociative identity disorder?
Mm-hmm. From my understanding, yes. And again, I'm not a writer in the show, so I don't want to speak for them. But remembering meetings and discussions that we had about the character, yes, that was pretty much the idea of how can we take this concept and personify it, and also have some tie-in to a fairy tale trope. Okay, well, we have Snow White. Let's branch off of that a little bit. Again, I'm not a writer for the show, but I believe that's how it was discussed.
Yeah, that would definitely be a good question to ask if you go to a convention with one of the writers, because like they obviously think very deeply into how they write the characters and what the backstory is there and like what certain meanings of certain things are. Whereas we might not be as well spoken or well versed on that. So doing our best.
Absolutely, of course.
Here up front.
So you've mentioned that this is the first convention you've been to so far. Why is Canada the best?
Oh, I had some poutine last night. Ooh.
Ooh, yes.
I almost went full Texan. I was like, I had some poutine last night. Boy, howdy, was that good. I'm like, babe, I'm so weird.
I was like, yes.
The poutine was great. The weather's been phenomenal. It was low 90s today in Austin, 90 Fahrenheit, which is just gross. We're sweating
If it was
everywhere.
90 Celsius, people would be dying.
Wow. Poor
I
Texans.
love the cold too, but I love the people.
Yeah. It's very true. Also, everyone's been super nice. What's it been like coming home?
Yeah, I feel like I'm not allowed to
Barbara.
answer this question because I'm biased. For those of you who don't know, I'm actually from Ottawa. Go Sens, go!
Ottawa.
Wow.
Expecting
Rare
more
applause for Ottawa in Toronto.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's impressive. I think it's more Canadians are so nice. We're just like, oh, you're just from Canada. That's great. Like we don't. And it could be from anywhere.
You're
We're just
alive.
proud.
That's great.
But no, it's great to be home. I got to visit my family before coming to Fan Expo in Ottawa. So it was the first time I saw them in about 2 years. So it's really nice to be able to have an excuse to see them and also to come here and see you guys. So. Yeah, I mean, Canada's the best. Everyone is so great here. You guys have all been so wonderful to us all weekend, and every time we come to Canada, it's always a pleasure. And I get to spend all the Canadian cash that I had left over from every time I visit home. So it's great, and I buy a lot of Tim Hortons.
I'm glad I'm not the only one who keeps cash from our trips and is like, one day,
Yeah,
I'll be back.
like I could just convert this to American, or
I'm too lazy.
an excuse to
Hold
go
out
back
hope.
home.
I don't know what
You'll
y'all are
spend
talking
those
about.
maple bucks one of these days.
I love the most American thing I said to you too while we were here. I was like, Barbara, your money is like Disneyland money.
Lindsay kept squeezing it and letting it go, and it would just like pop back to like its normal
It's a
form.
magic trick.
And it's like, it's indestructible. Yeah, it was Trevor, my boyfriend, was with me in Ottawa before, and I had to explain loonies and toonies to him.
What?
And loonies
Oh,
and
yeah,
toonies.
you explained
And I was
this
like,
last
the
night.
gold one is 1, the silver with the gold inside is 2. That's why it's a toonie.
I was like,
And
which one's
loony.
Bugs Bunny and which one's Daffy Duck? Tell me.
He loved it.
Back here.
If you were to record your own character songs, what genres would you do?
I really want us to do some kind of a J-pop parody.
We need to do a rap, a RWBY rap. Are you kidding? That would be
RWBY
awesome.
rap?
A
Oh my
RWBY
God.
rap.
We definitely do not need to do that.
Kara, I want friends, okay? Okay, now we have to.
Yeah.
Weiss, baby.
Oh, man. All right. I mean, what's Vanilla Ice up to? Call him up. Get him on the phone.
Well, I think Weiss would probably be like classical music, right? Or like
Yes.
some type of like
I don't
smooth
know.
jazz.
Ooh, yeah, that'd be cool. Or I'm also getting like a Regina Spektor vibe from you.
I feel like I
Yeah.
just like Celine Dion, like very.
Ooh.
Like a ballad.
Yes.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
I think
I wouldn't be able to sing that at all, which is why we have the lovely Casey Lee Williams who sings Air Mirror. Not me.
I know we had the Chibi episodes where we did Battle of the Bands. We did have some kind of like
yeah.
plays on different musical genres, which was fun.
drink my water again?
think Yang was into rock, which makes sense.
I was gonna say probably for Yang it would be heavy metal. I think that she would
Yes.
just have a heavy metal song. I also like to when I'm just thinking about RWBY and stuff like that, I'm like, oh, like what would each member of the team play if they were in a band together? And I'm like, Yang would be drums, easily. I think RWBY would be lead guitarist. I feel like Weiss would be like pianist or
A
like
singer.
or singer, and then Blake I think would be bass.
Yeah.
Like
Blake is
that's
a bass player.
That's how I
Yeah.
picture all of them.
Absolutely.
All about the business.
So now when we release our first single, please buy it.
Weiss, baby.
Yeah, we're on SoundCloud.
I burn.
You can find the extended cut on Bandcamp.
Yes. Yeah.
Right back here.
Hello there. I have a question for all of you related to your favorite. What is your favorite antagonist in the entire show, whether that be minor or major? So anything from like Junior in the one bar fight with Yang all the way up to like Adam or something. Also, I wanted to say my favorite personally is Roman Torchwick. And if yours is, I will give you $5 American.
I will take your $5 American. Thank you.
I will actually give it to you.
No, hush. Oh my God, I'm joking. No, that was for the sake
you'll
of comedy.
You'll be back at your tables afterward, and you'll take the $5.
Damn, I've joked myself into a situation again. No.
Could my answer just be the Nevermore that ate Roman Torchwick?
Yeah.
Just to spite you?
I mean, she is an antagonist. Some people have argued otherwise. I'm like, okay, I see where you're coming from, but Neo to me is. RWBY has some opinions. But yeah, she's awesome. I like her a lot. She reminds me of like the She-Go relationship. If anyone watched Kim Possible, I'm like, you're the main character, lady, not this guy.
Probably Salem, just because she's so creepy. She's like very, very complicated and just still like mysterious. We don't know a lot about her still, and
She's got that calm power where you're like, ooh,
Yeah.
like you're so in control that you're not even mad.
Yeah.
Very stoic.
Which is even more scary.
Just festering. I really like Tyrion. Tyrion, I think, is my favorite antagonist. That laugh, he's just so creepy. Any villain that's happy when they're killing, like, that's scary to me, you know?
Yeah. Very creepy.
Right back there.
Hi. So I guess this question is mostly directed at Kara, but anyone can answer. What's it like been like growing kind of with your characters over these like 8 to 9 like volumes, both in the way of like your attachments to the characters, but also just in like your voice acting choices? It's mostly directed at Kara just because of like Weiss's like very, I guess like strong I guess character arc and like drastic change. But like if anyone can answer.
I'd say for Weiss, it's definitely something that I think we all, it's kind of in the same way we all grew with our characters. You know, we were all new voice actors when we began, or new to voice acting. We had never done anything before. And I think I kind of brought that through to Weiss because Weiss had never, you know, been to a normal school before and didn't know how society worked. And as she's figuring that out, I'm also figuring out who she is on the inside. And I think the more as time goes on, we kind of become like part of our characters, if that makes sense. You know, we really start to understand them more. With Weiss, I knew in the beginning, I was told that she was Monty actually told me that, you know, Kara, people probably won't like Weiss the first 1 or 2 seasons, but if they do, that means you're doing a good job and it'll get better, I promise. So after that, and it's been really great just to see her whole journey and how she handles everything. So I think that's probably one of the big things is really just following along with our characters and growing with them. And that being said, too, it makes them more mature, and as we mature, that's.
That's good, yeah.
No. Oh, no. I guess I was just going to say, like, we've talked about it in other panels and stuff, but it's hard to explain to you all that, like, RWBY is a documentation of our lives in our 20s. Like, that was a lot of our career. I mean, yes, we have Achievement Hunter or other side things that we're doing with Rooster Teeth. I'm not saying that was entire lives, but it is a very heavy part of who we are and what we did, again, for the past 10 years now, which is so surreal that the show has gone on that long and only grown and grown from there. So as Kara said, we've matured, our characters have matured, we've had a range of emotions throughout like everything going on, but I would not trade this journey for the world, basically. Again,
I just got chills, me either.
It's true, yeah, you know. These characters are a part of us, and we are a part of them now, and that's not going to change. It's a very awesome relationship, and we get to share it with you all, so yeah.
Yang does no growing. She is perfect in every way.
She might have lost something, and you know, got another.
Yang has never done anything wrong in her life.
Nothing wrong. She's made
Yang
only
is
good
perfect.
decisions that have only resulted in good things.
Yes.
No losing any limbs whatsoever.
So they're telling me we got about 5 minutes left. I think we can get a few more questions
Right
in.
before we get to your question,
Yeah.
we want to give a shout out to someone
Yeah,
who's
actually.
here.
Do what you gotta
Is
do.
there is Paula here?
Paula?
Perchance,
Is Paula
if you
here?
are.
Hi, Paula.
What's up,
Is
Paula?
Paula? is the mom of Alexander and Stephanie over there. Hello, guys. And she drove from a very long way this morning just to come and see us at our panel. And she's like an awesome RWBY fan, so just wanted to give you a shout out. Thank you.
Yeah, you did not have to come all this way. You were awesome.
Also, thank all of you, too.
And thank all of you guys for coming. Are you walking from a very long way, too? I know. But I don't know every single one of y'all's names.
Paula, everybody.
We heard the tale of Paula, and now it's complete. Thank you.
Right here.
Hi. I guess first I just wanted to say thank you for bringing these characters to life. RWBY is like definitely my favorite anime like ever.
Anime.
Thanks.
Don't start that.
Reddit will hear you.
I just wanted to
Reddit is
ask
everything.
if there was like ever a Pokemon crossover, who would your character's ace Pokemon be?
Oh, man. I saw your cosplay at the booth, and I had mentioned like, oh, Pokemon and RWBY cosplay, or like a crossover would be fantastic. I mean, I feel like we all have to have legendaries, right?
You say this as if
There's three of us.
if I know what you're talking about.
Ninetales? Like an actual like Pokemon?
Yeah, I mean, like
Ninetales. See?
that's pretty cool. Oh, if it's an Alolan Ninetales, that could totally work for you.
The blue one.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, Kara. She knows because she plays Pokemon Go.
I actually,
I'm so proud of her.
Are you surprised I do know Pokemon? Look at that. Yes.
Yeah. That's awesome. I was thinking Articuno, but that's even better. The Alolan Ninetales is great. I feel like Winter can have the Articuno. She's a little bit more OP.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I think the Ninetales more graceful.
For me, I think it'd be, is it Charizard, the fire one?
Say.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one, or, I mean, Pikachu, because it's Pikachu and lightning and stuff, and I feel like that goes for Yang pretty good. I don't know, it's like a nice, I guess that would be a Nora.
Yeah. I raise you
would
a
have
Moltres. Yeah, definitely. Well, she can have Zapdos also. You know.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty OP like that. I don't know what RWBY would have. Is
RWBY.
Yeah, I'm like basic red Pokemon. I feel like she would just get the like saddest little cheesy Pokemon who has like low stats, and she's like,
You could
you're
be a
cute.
Ditto.
Yeah, you live with me. Yeah. Oh, Ditto would be awesome. Okay, RWBY has Ditto now. That's it officially.
It is said. It is done.
So I think we got time for one more. Who wants it the most? Who's got the best last question? Who is the most confident in what they got?
She's very
yeah, I think we got it with the
Would
yellow
we be able
hair
to
right
squeeze
here.
in two quick questions?
You know what?
I
No.
have one,
I'm just kidding.
one birthday girl who wants to ask, and then
They're in charge,
she's been waiting
so
a lot,
yes,
too.
of course.
Okay.
We also will be at our booth right after this, so
Yes,
if you have
please.
questions, feel free to come by and chat with us there as well.
We're down there. Just keep going that way, and you'll see all of us. Love to say hi.
Hi, sorry, anxiety. Do you guys
Relatable.
have any advice for people like myself or just other people going through the same stuff as me that like, I really want to become a voice actress, a voice actor, whatever, the correct term is. I would like to be one, but, going through a lot of stuff right now and lost pretty much everything. So I have no system set up to even do anything. Any advice?
Yes.
Well, so sorry that you're dealing with that.
I don't
That's
want pity. I don't want pity. I just want advice.
but too late. I'm already saying I'm sorry. All right, I'll take it.
Let a Canadian apologize,
I
please.
have to. It bubbles out of me. You know this.
Like the anxiety specifically, I'm like, my God, that's incredibly relatable. In fact, I don't think it's too much to say. Like, I'm on medication for that. I talk about it in content constantly. And that's just something that I have come to terms with, like, living with. And it's very difficult to do your job sometimes, especially voice acting wise, when they're like, okay, slow down, pace yourself. And I'm like, like I'm about to explode. I'm sorry. But that being said, it's absolutely doable. I feel like there's a lot more attention being given to people who are neurodivergent or who deal with difficulties in not only just voice acting sessions, but just filming sessions in general. And I'm so happy that that light is being shown on a very important subject. So I would say don't let that deter you, because I've had that discussion a lot of like, can I even do this? Like I can't even hold myself together right now. And I've had that discussion a lot internally. But no, there are support groups there, and there are people who will care about you and help you adjust. As far as like moving forward with like practical steps, Yuri Lowenthal and Tara Platt, both voice actors, both phenomenal people. Yuri Lowenthal plays Mercury in RWBY, and actually Tara Platt plays Mama Belladonna. So if you're a fan, yeah. Great people. They have a 3-part series on YouTube about starting and getting into voice acting and some steps you can take. Check that out.
Also, you mentioned no equipment and everything like that. I started off, I found or practiced the Weiss voice with my iPhone recorder in my bedroom closet, so I could have, good sound. So when you're just starting out, just practice and everything, you don't need, all the fancy equipment and stuff. Your iPhone, voice record works.
Just
great.
to reinforce it, one of the things that I hear from people like yourself so many times is the biggest thing is just laying something down. It doesn't matter how pretty it is, how high resolution it is. It doesn't have to be in like Dolby Atmos or anything like that. It's just a matter of
Just
making
start.
something and getting it out
start
there.
doing it and
right?
have fun.
If you're always waiting for a certain like type of equipment or the right moment or the right like, oh, I need this to happen in order to start this, like you're never gonna do it. So just start with what you have, like Kara said. I think the phone is a great idea. And also just take comfort in knowing that none of us know what we're doing.
Right.
Literally none of us. We just wanted to do it, and we, luckily got an opportunity to, and a lot of it is luck, of course. We'd be lying if we say, like, we weren't in the right place at the right time for that. And so it's just a matter of, putting yourself out there if you're comfortable with it when you can, not giving yourself a timeline, just starting when you want to and sticking with it,
I'd say one last real quick tidbit of advice that Elizabeth, who voices Winter, has given me or has told people that, when you're just starting, just practice and have fun with it, but don't try to be a certain character from anything. Don't try to mimic that. Try to create your own character in your brain. Like, what would they sound like? And that's really the best way to learn how to, really use the right emotions and stuff, so you're not thinking about that particular character to reach it.
Before we go to our last question, something that came up yesterday on this exact train of thought. Janet Varney mentioned D. Bradley Baker, who voices Appa and like every animal in animation, period.
Olmec from Legends of the Hidden Temple.
There you go. He has a website called iwanttobeavoiceactor.com that has loads of free resources all over it, and it's amazing. You've got to check it out.
Just don't get too good and get us out of a job, like
Yeah, like dial it down a little.
Don't be too talented. Just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I'm the kind of person who's like, come at me, let's go. Yes, let's work together, let's go.
So right back here.
Going back to like season 1, were there any specific characters that you really wanted but you didn't get, like that you auditioned for, or did you get the ones that
I had
you
one
wanted?
option, but I got it.
Oh, good. Thank goodness. I actually auditioned for Blake and Pyrrha. And I am so happy that I got, that I got Ruby, honestly. Like, one, because I didn't know if I was going to get the part. Monty was like, well, try these 3. And 2, now hearing how Jen and Aaron have brought the characters to life, I'm like, oh, I like your version way better than what I did. Yeah, absolutely. Good choice.
Yeah, I think they auditioned me for Yang with just having me play Yang in mind, so I didn't really consider any other parts. I don't know if there would be another part I'd want to play. I feel like the character and I are essentially one person at this point, so it's hard for me to imagine a life without Yang.
You said you had a little bit of you played with the voice a little bit, I know. I don't know if you thought about how different Yang could sound.
Well, I did, this is my first voice acting part, and so in my mind I think, voice acting, I have to change my voice. I can't just do my own voice for a character, because in my mind, voice acting was changing what your voice sounded like, when that's not the case. It's just acting using your voice. And so when I auditioned for Yang, I initially had it really high up. Like,
that's my job, stop.
Like a lot higher up, and they're like, oh, actually just use your normal voice. And I was like, all right, that's easy.
That's easy.
You became so sultry. All right.
All right. Hello, I'm Yang Xiaolong.
Awesome.
Imagine if she sounded like that.
I would love that.
They're so wrong. I have no
We got to stop spoiling Volume 9, everybody, please.
So I've got 2 little bits of housekeeping before we send our stars off in style. First off is here on this stage this afternoon, right after this, we've got Chris Sabat. All Might is here, indeed. After that, we've got Naruto and Boruto, Miley Flanagan and Amanda Miller. And then wrapping up the day, the one, the only Ash from Pokemon, Veronica Taylor. So stick around for our programming. But before you come back over here, go and see these lovely people at their table. You're here the rest of the afternoon, yes?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Excellent.
We're here for another hour and a half.
Is there anything that you'd like to leave us with?
Well, just before we go,
Sure.
we're going to sign right at our booth right after this, and then we have some photo ops. So if you wanted to do a photo with us, I think all 4 of us should be here by then, I would imagine. So you could sign up for those, or just come by our booth right after this. Unfortunately, we do fly out today, so we're going to be leaving the convention a little earlier than we would like to. So
We're here for the rest of our day. But
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So make sure that you go over there and get your signatures now. And if you haven't
Rather
signed up for the
than
photo
later.
ops, guess what? You're conveniently located right next to photo ops. So go and check the time. Make sure that they got slots available. I think they've still got a couple. So make sure that you get signed up for those. Could we get a round of applause for our crew, everybody?
Yes.
And
Thank
keep it
you,
going one more
guys.
time for the stars of RWBY.
Thank you, guys.